3, 2, 1. Hi, you guys. Welcome to my first ever episode of Unreserved con Shey. My name is Shayla, and if this is your first time finding me, figuring out who I am, I don't know what the correct term is, but I'm definitely on brand with my unreserved theme. I wanted to create a space where you can come on and talk with literally no type of pressure about anything. I'm wearing my sports bra, my curly hair is out, and I have a very basic background. It's literally just my yellow wall, a little flower, and a little frame, which every Spanish person has with fruits. You know what I'm saying? So very on brand. And just if you're nosy like me, I am 24. I currently work somewhere, which I'm not going to talk about just because I feel like if I mention it, then I won't feel as comfortable to talk about the topics that I want to talk about. So I do have a job, if you care. And yeah, this is Unreserved with Shey. And I want to start this episode off with a song by J. Cole because it is very relevant to the topic that I am going to be talking about today. It's called Lost Ones by J. Cole. Hopefully this is something that I incorporate into the podcast. I love music, hip hop, R&B. That's like my jam. But I'm also very interested in social issues and equality. And sometimes I do want to talk about celebrity drama. You know, I'll sprinkle that in a little bit as well. But a majority of my videos, I will be talking about social issues and music because that's what I enjoy. So let me talk. Oh, did I mention I'm Latina? I feel like, honestly, I don't even say that because when you look at me, it's like, obviously. But maybe if you're just listening to the audio version, I have very curly hair and I am proud of it. And I am a advocate for natural hair. No one has ever given me that title. I'm just giving it to myself. I am a natural hair advocate. So anyways, like I said, I'm going to play this song called Lost Ones. And while you're listening to the song, I'm only going to play a small portion of it because, hello, copyright. I don't even know if I'm able to do this, but we're just going to play with it. While you listen to the song, think about what you think this first episode will be about.
I got you pregnant now, inside there is a life in you. I know you wondering if this is gonna make me think about wife and you. Like if you had my first child, would I spend my whole life with you? Now I ain't trying to pick a fight with you, I'm trying to talk. Now I ain't trying to spend a night with you, I'm kind of lost, see. I've been giving this some thought lately, and frankly I'm feeling like we ain't ready in this. Hold up now, let me finish. Think about it, baby, me and you, we still kids ourselves. How we gonna raise a kid by ourselves, handle biz by ourselves? 20, where the hell we gonna live? Where am I gonna get that money? I refuse to bring my boy and my girl in this world when I ain't got shit to give them. And I'm not with the niggas who be knocking girls up and skate out. So girl, you gotta think about how the options way out. What's the way out?
Okay. So today, well, on Wednesday, this is from Axios. I will link the article below. It says a law that bans abortions after 6 weeks, including in cases of rape and incest, went into effect in Texas on Wednesday. Why it matters. The law, one of the most restrictive abortion bans in the U.S., prohibits the practice after a fetal heartbeat is detected before many people know they are pregnant. So essentially, and I'm going to be honest, this is why I called this Unreserved, because there might be some things that I may get wrong in this video, but regardless of if the laws that I'm talking about are not correct, the main points that I want to talk about today still stands regardless. And that is, men should not have a right to tell women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. And I'm going to repeat that again in case you did not hear, in case your headphones fell off, in case your volume was too low. Men should not, never, ever, ever in life have a right to tell women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. Because first, men don't get their periods, okay? If you do not understand what cramps feels like, if you don't understand what crazy hormones feel like, don't tell me what I can and cannot do with my body. And I'm not denying that, you know, maybe men have a different version of periods. I don't know, because I am a woman, so I can only speak from my perspective, but men don't know what it is to have a period, to have your menstrual cycle. Men don't know what it is to carry a child for 9 months. Men do not know what it is to have a C-section. Men don't know what it's like to push out a baby. And yes, there are some men that do take on the dad role and are great fathers and are great parents and actually understand all the responsibilities that come with having a child. Yes. But there are also men that think that, okay, once they have the child, the mom is the one that does everything. They do all the major roles. They're the ones that have to breastfeed the child. If they're not breastfeeding, they're the ones that are in charge of feeding the baby, changing the diapers, worrying about school, worrying about sickness, like all of these elements that come with having a child. And the fact that some people are so into this mindset of pro-life. Listen, I just do not think that men or anyone should dictate and tell a woman, you need to have this child. I don't care if you were raped. I don't care if you were raped by a family member. You need to stay with this child and you need to raise it, and the government is not going to help you. And I don't care if you also have a job that's paying you minimum wage and you can't afford to live by yourself. That's essentially what the people in Texas are saying. Not the people in Texas, but whoever voted pro or for this law. A lot of times people don't even know that they're pregnant by 6 weeks. So if you find out that you're pregnant, you are 6 weeks, they're going to tell you, well, you cannot have an abortion. And let me tell you something. Just because a law has passed or just because you tell somebody that they cannot do it does not mean that they won't do it. They will find other ways to go ahead and get an abortion, and it will be bad. That other method will not be healthy, or like it just baffles me that people feel so entitled to tell women what they can and cannot do. And here's the really funny part. Again, this is Uncensored con Shey. If you feel some type of way, please just don't listen to it, because I'm not with the nonsense. A lot of people that are talking about this pro-life are the same people that are anti-maskers, that say it is my life, it is my body, it is my choice. Okay. So since you feel so entitled and so oppressed because you have to wear a mask, what makes you think it is okay for you not to wear a mask, but it is okay for you to tell a woman you need to carry that child and no one's going to help you? Dime. Shayla, I need to breathe. That is the issue that gets me mad. I feel like women all the time are being told what they can and cannot do with their bodies. If you are too confident, it is a problem. Why are you wearing that? Why are you showing legs? Why are you showing so much? If you are not confident, it's like, you need to be confident. You need to be smiling. You need to walk with your head up high. It's always a problem when it comes to music. Megan Thee Stallion has songs. Cardi B has songs that are, they're shaking their butt. Okay, they are comfortable with their bodies, and people shame on it and look bad and are like, oh, the generation is listening to this music and XYZ. Listen, I listen to that music, and just because I listen to it does not mean that I am going to follow every single word that they are saying in these songs. It is music. It is a form of expression. Just because Cardi B says I don't cook, I don't clean, and she still has a man, doesn't mean that I'm gonna interpret it and be like, yep, I'm not cooking and I'm not cleaning because Cardi B said so. Hello? No, that is like ridiculous. That is a ridiculous argument. And when men all of these years have been creating music and making money out of creating music videos where all you see is girls shaking their butt. No one was mad at that. But when women said, you know what? I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make money off of my body, out of me being proud of myself, then it was a problem. Okay. Another thing that this topic brings up is the idea of there's also other people that are like, well, there's so many other options. You don't need to resort to abortions. Let me tell you something. That is not the point. The point is, it is my body, my choice. And if someone decides that I do not want to keep this child, I believe it is better for this child. Like, bringing a child into this world is a huge responsibility. We already have a problem with healthcare in this world. We have a problem with childcare. I am a college educated person, and I still cannot afford to live by myself. I am college educated. I am doing well, and it's still not good enough for me to even support myself. So me bringing a child into this world and someone telling me you have to keep this child, even if you're not able to provide a good life for this baby, is insane to me. If I say I don't want to be on birth control, why should I be forced to be on birth control? Birth control has a lot of different side effects, and for some women it's weight gain. For some women it's acne. For others it's change in hormones. And I'm gonna tell you, as someone who always has crazy hormones when I'm about to get on my period, it is not fun. Why is it that women need to be put on these birth control pills? What are men on? Men don't get their period. Men don't have to carry a child for 9 months. Men don't know what it feels like to have a C-section. Okay, I'm sorry you guys if the frame changed. This is what happens when you are your photographer, lighting person, and 3-in-1. Essentially, what I was saying is, why is it that women always have to take the brunt on issues? We carry the child. We have to be told you have to carry this child. You have to provide for it. Men don't get period. Men or menstrual cycle, whatever the proper term is. Men don't know what it feels like to carry a child for 9 months. Men don't know what it is to push a child. Men don't know what it is to have a C-section. So why is it that women always have to be? We always have to be the ones to have like the worst end of the stick. That's essentially what pisses me off. And another thing is, a lot of this is all politics, right? And a lot of people my age are not really into this whole politics situation. They don't understand why, even if the Democrats are the majority, why is it that these laws or these things are still happening? I think Texas is a Republican state, so this is why this is happening. But the thing is, yes, this is happening in Texas right now, but that does not mean that little by little other states will follow the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, and I think I will end on this, if you are not into politics, let me tell you, the world is very confusing. But it is also very important, because at the end of the day, politics is the only way things change. Politics is the only way to get things done. Yes, posting on social media is great, but action is needed. And I'm gonna post this from, not post it, I'm just gonna read this tweet from AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She is a U.S. representative from New York's 14th district, I think Bronx and Queens. And this is what she said. Again, I don't want to get too political on here because politics is very confusing, but just know it is important. Who you vote for is important. And I think the representatives need to understand that, and understand that you need to learn how to play the game. If you are so stuck on being bipartisan, and bipartisan essentially means like you want to do things with the other side, right? So we have a Republican side, a Democrat, and there's, I think, liberals as well, but the main two parties are Republicans and Democrats. When you want to do things the bipartisan way, you want to make sure that the other side is with you on whatever that legislation or whatever that point of discussion is. Republicans are not with that. If they want to pass something, they will pass it whether you are whether you agree with it or not. And I don't know what is wrong with the Democrats, but clearly that's not getting inside their head. So they're always trying to be so nice with the other side. Señores, if you have the majority, which they do, you should, I don't care what the other side thinks. And again, this is why I could never be in government or in any politics role, because I don't play that. The people that voted for me said they wanted X, Y, and Z. So I am going to make sure X, Y, and Z gets done regardless of if the other side agrees with me or not. Yes, sometimes you try to be open-minded and listen to the other side, but if you continue doing this, sweetie, your people are not going to vote for you again. This is a tweet. What is wrong with me? What's a tweet? It says, Republicans promise to overturn Roe versus Wade, and they have. Democrats can either abolish the filibuster and expand the court, or do nothing as millions of people's bodies, rights, and lives are sacrificed for far-right minority rule. This shouldn't be a difficult decision. So essentially what the filibuster is, because this is going to be this is going to be politics 101, kidding. But essentially this is from Google. I googled filibuster meaning. It says an action such as a prolonged speech that obstructs progress in a legislative assembly while not technically contravening. I don't know, girl. Actually, I'm not gonna cut it off. But essentially the filibuster is the reason why a lot of these Democrats are not able to get done what they need to get done, even though they have the majority. The Supreme Court is also a very important thing. Right now, a majority of the justices or the judges are conservative, so they are leaning more towards the conservative side of things, cue the pro-life situation. And it's mind-blowing. And I'm going to end this by saying, if you are not into politics, I'm not going to say it is the best thing ever, but what I will say is that it is important for you to understand at least who you are voting for, why you are voting for them, because these things matter. This whole Texas situation might not be affecting you directly, but trust me, they are out to get you, okay? They don't want minorities voting because, A, we are the majority. So if a lot of minorities decide, like, you know what, I'm actually going to pay attention to politics, which we are, and that is the reason why a lot of people are trying to restrict voting access, because they realize, oh my God, like, people are actually opening their eyes and are voting for things, which usually minorities don't really go out and vote because we have bigger things to think about, right? Like, we have to worry about paying bills and making sure we have food on the table. So all I'm going to say is make sure you are aware of what is happening in your community. Make sure when you vote, you do know who you're voting for, because it's 2021 and women are trying to fight for simple rights. Okay, that is crazy to me. And I'm going to end this the same way I started it. Please do not tell women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. The same way you're so opposed to wearing a mask and kids should not be wearing a mask, then you should not be telling a woman that has been raped, you need to keep that child. That was the first episode of Unreserved con Shey. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, actually, I think I'm going to post this on YouTube, so make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what your feelings are, what you think about it. And the reason why I played the J. Cole song is because he was so right. Like, sometimes people just genuinely cannot afford to have a child. They can't. They don't have what it takes to provide for a child, especially in 2021. Everything is expensive. Even if you are college educated, you can barely find a job that pays enough for you to support yourself, let alone a child. And sometimes people are just not ready to bring a child. And I genuinely believe it's better for you not to bring a child into this world than bring them and have them suffer. That is so unfair for not only yourself, but for the child. There's also other people that are like, oh, well, there's so many other options. You can, like, have the kid up, put the kid up for adoption. Okay, but that would still mean I would have to carry this child for 9 months. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I am not saying that you should have an abortion or you should not. What I am saying is you should not be telling somebody what they should and should not do with their body, because you're not going to be taking care of this child. You're not going to be going through the morning sickness. You are not going to be experiencing what that woman may be experiencing. So don't tell them what to do with their body. The goal of this podcast is to talk music. Or I think what I am going to do every time I start an episode, I'm going to start it with a song. And that song will give you a hint of what the topic is going to be about. And yeah, today it was about let women do whatever they want to do with their bodies. Tomorrow it might be a lighter topic, but just know we'll always be unreserved here. Bye, guys.